Okay, so as mentioned, we're now recording this session. So I'll be able to post this up to YouTube at the end, and then you can pass that link on to whoever you need to get them across what we talked about tonight. But just an official welcome. So g'day, my name is Nick Fredrickson, part of the Timing Solutions team. And tonight is your night. Obviously, it's hard to get to anywhere at this point in life and this time of the evening. So thank you for making it tonight. And your questions are required to make this more successful. I can talk and you can listen, but it's much better when obviously you're throwing questions at me and we go through whatever it is that you need to get out of this, not so much just what I've got to say. So butt in, ask as required. Sorry?
I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions. It's all good.
Good. All right. Don't be shy. Okay, so moving right along. So what we've got as a bit of a rough agenda for tonight is to go through what it all is, how it all works, all the different moving parts, a bit of an overview. And then we can look at what the families get to see and how they get to go and see that. And then getting ready for the start of the season. So we've already ticked off the season rollover just before, but we'll go through that again. Not that you'll need it for another season's time. And then just talk through your users and some of the basics of setting up a calendar and entering results and printing recording sheets and that sort of thing. And then if we have interest and if we have time, then we can go through some of the more advanced features. But pretty well, this part here covers off most of it. And this is more if you're keen for more, but you may be totally full up at that point in time as far as knowledge and brain's a bit full and congested, then we can leave this for another time.
Yep.
All right, so we just kick along. So a bit of an overview. Generally, all the registrations start in IMG. Is that still the case for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep. And the athletes do that themselves with the families, or do you key it in for them?
They generally do it themselves.
Yeah, they're all encouraged to do it online. There's a few that we might still have to do manually for.
Yeah, cool. And as you know, that's web-based. So as long as you've got internet and a browser, then you can jump on there and do that. The same goes for ResultsHQ. Now, what are you currently using? What have you been using for all your results data?
Spreadsheets manually input it.
We do a very dinosaur style. We do where-to-week Excel spreadsheets.
Okay.
Of paper sheets written on the night.
And how many kids are you rolling with there?
75 last year, I think, wasn't there?
Was that about weeks
ago?
About 60-ish, 70-ish sometimes.
Yeah, right. Okay. So this will be a little different for you. So just like NetBank and IMG and Facebook and so on, ResultsHQ is web-based. Now, do you have good internet where you are, or is it not so good? More so down at the clubhouse, sorry. Down at where you...
Most of the place, I would say.
Yeah, down at the Oval itself, I'm not really actually 100% sure. We're sort of right at the foot of a mountain that can get in the way.
Okay. So this is web-based ResultsHQ. So as long as you've got a phone or a hotspot or internet or something, then you'll be able to use it. But if you find that you've got bad internet where it is you're trying to do all your data entry, ideally down at the clubhouse or out in the field, then that's where we've got these two other applications that don't require internet but let you get all that data keyed in. And then when you get home or to work or wherever it is that your internet is, then you can go and upload all that data.
Yeah.
So the
A
main...
quick peek, one of your little YouTube videos this afternoon, about 2 minutes of it, and that sounds really good. The RaceHQ, I was really interested in for our little club.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good one. Well, we'll be going through that again tonight and some CompetitionHQ as well, just so you know what they are. They're all a part of the package. There's no hidden costs or strings or anything. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't, cool. Don't have to. So ResultsHQ is web-based. These two are not. They're Windows-based. There is an Android version of CompetitionHQ, but if you think of these two as don't need internet to work, but think of that one as you do.
Okay.
And the moment you key in data into ResultsHQ Direct, or you're uploading from these two applications to here, the moment you do that, boom, the kids get to see it straight away.
That's great.
Wow.
Unless you're a bit more cautious at your centre and you want to vet things and you kind of hold it in a draft format, and then release as you see fit. But most centres tend to just upload, bang, kids see it straight away. And we can go through that sort of stuff tonight as well. But they're all the moving parts. So there's no cost with any of these bits that we're talking about tonight.
Okay.
The only cost will be if you wanted to get any hardware to go with the timing elements, but they are not required, and that's a whole other conversation. But everything we're going to go through tonight is just the free parts, the included in the deal parts.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. All right. So as we just talked about, if we want to key into ResultsHQ, we can just from paper. So we'll go through how to print off recording sheets, or you can use CompetitionHQ to do your track and field data entry, or you can use the timing software, RaceHQ, and time things, then upload it. Either way, the moment it hits here, the kids get to see it straight away on their phone or tablet or whatever it is they're looking at. So that's the end outcome we're trying to get to, is get the data out to the kids as soon as we can and keep them happy and engaged in their activities and PBs and so on.
Instant gratification.
I want to know now. So let's jump into those two applications first. I'm just going to jump into the timing software, RaceHQ. So this you can just download, as well as CompetitionHQ. You can download both these right now if you wanted to. There's no keys or licenses required. You just go into the forum area and download them. But I'm just going to start up the timing software while we're talking about it. So do you guys use stopwatches or Seiko multi-timers? How do you time your...
Multi-timer.
Okay.
We do have some little stopwatches, but we've actually just started using a multi-timer for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, right. And with that, does one person time every single person, or is it a number of them? How does it work for a 70-metre race, for example?
Yeah, look, the person on the multi-timer's just got to be really quick.
Yeah, no worries. Just making sure that's the same as what we're about to demonstrate here. So that's cool. So this is the timing software. The general one that you'll be using would be PAC. There's a whole bunch of other ones in here, but PAC's the one that is your Seiko, if you think of it like that. Just going to go straight to Go Race. All the members and all the information has been downloaded at some point in time, but just to show where you do that, so I've just clicked on the little settings cog. It's opened up the settings screen. By hitting refresh, it's gone to my demo center, and it's going to bring down all my members, my PBs, my records, and any events that I've got set up.
Yeah.
And then let's go finish. But in your case, you'll choose Camden Haven.
Yeah.
And put in the password and so on, and hit refresh, and it'll bring down your members, your PBs, your records, and so on.
So we'll just let her come in and be part of the party.
Yeah, cool. G'day.
Nick, this is Karen. Karen, this is Nick.
How you doing, Karen? Welcome to the party.
Thank you.
It's just us tonight, so there's no other centres. There's supposed to be a couple others, but obviously they haven't been able to make it. So it's just your computer and my computer tonight.
So we're looking at the Camden Haven
that's cool.
Demo.
Excellent. Good. So this basically is one of the applications you can use. You don't have to be online for. You can just download it onto Windows-based
and then you
tablet or computer. But it's kind of like what we would use with our multi-timer. Yeah. And so Karen pretty much usually is. Last season was mostly the person who used the multi-timer on the finish.
Well, then this potentially, as you've just heard, is your potential new timer for the season. See what you think.
Nice.
So here's just the moving parts. So registrations happen over here. In ResultsHQ, we just press a button and it brings across your active and your financial members. Then in the timing software, you start it up and it brings down your members, your PBs, records, and events. You can go offline for the rest of the night or the morning, recording 100 races or 200 races, however many. And then when you get back in internet, you can go and upload all those results. Or if you are running internet down at the track, then race by race, you can be pushing up results as they're happening, which means the kids, as they're walking off the track, will be getting their times, tickets, PBs, and all that in their area.
No times allowed. No, it's a screen-free zone in athletics, isn't it?
When they get home. In the car on the way to McDonald's, something like that. So now this is what we're looking at is RaceHQ. So just starting this up. So this is the offline timing application, which, as you've just heard, is a replacement for your Seiko multi-timer. So once it starts up, it's built to do a whole number of things, but the simple version of what it's trying to do is just be your multi-timer. So we're just going to stay on pack races. We don't need to connect any start devices or gates or triggers or anything like that. And we're just going to go to go race. Once this screen is up, I can edit the columns, so I can turn some columns off if I don't want some because they're noisy for me or whatever it is. Otherwise, just leave them on. I don't even have to choose the event. These events, by the way, will be loaded based on whatever events I've got coming up, either tonight or this morning or next week. So just depending on if we're past the event and we're on to the next week's carnival as the next one, it will start loading up the events for next week.
So do we have to load them week to week, or can we, because we have a 3-week rotation,
yep,
can we preload the 3-week rotation and that will rotate for us, or do we have to upload?
No, so
weekly?
basically all the information will be coming from here, your ResultsHQ profile. This is where you'll be setting up your calendar and saying, first week
Excellent.
is trial and we're using rotation 2. Second week is using rotation 3. Third week is using rotation 1, and so on, and keep copying those dates into the future. But each of those age, gender, event combinations for that particular date is what this will then bring down and load up for you into here.
Cool. Okay.
So
if we're not organised enough and haven't got that pre-entered, like if we have a rain out and
yes,
we normally go to
changes.
the next one, if it's actually like, can we do we need that, or can we just click on one of those things and it'll work it out for us?
So I've just clicked on the last one on my drop-down list is edit events, which then brings up all the possible events that we could possibly ever want to do. And I go, actually, tonight we're going to do 800s as well, because that's how it's worked out. Then when I go finish in here, I'll then have 800s also added into my list.
Cool, gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as when I try and upload my results at the end of the night, that I've gone in and I put 800 back into here.
Right.
Because it needs to have a matching age, gender, event, date to allow that data to go up.
Okay.
Cool. So to start a race, if I put my mouse on here, it actually tells me I can use the control key to start a race. So I'm holding my Windows tablet or my Windows laptop and I hit the control key. Race is started up the top right here. I can actually start a second race if I wanted to, as in I want to overlap these to keep it moving really quick. But just to keep it simple, we'll stay with one race. Then to trigger a time, I could click on this trigger button on the screen, or as it said when I moused over it, I can use my shift key. So as quick as I can hit the shift key, I'm getting times on the screen. Race is still running. If I wanted to, because we'll make this an 800 where we've had all the hot shots come home, I can start keying in who's who while the race is still running. So I'm just keying in the number on their chest is all I've done there. And this works out to be a mixed age gender event, which is totally cool with. So it's giving me an outright place, and it's also giving me an age gender place here as well.
Cool.
Then we've got some more kids come over the finish line. We can stop the race at this point in time because there's no one else on the track racing. The next kid is a visitor, and I'm not going to record him, so I just press enter and skip past that person. I'm now onto the 11th finisher. This kid doesn't actually have a number on their chest, but hopefully they know their name. What's your name? Timmy. Okay, Timmy. No worries. Start typing in Timothy Gardner. That's me. All right. You're 161. Get out my pen and write it on his hand. Don't forget, this is your number tonight. Next week, bring your bib. See you later. And then we've got the next one here is athlete 97. And that's Jordan. Everyone here has a PB so far with all the stars on the screen?
So this is what they meant when they said they were going to streamline stuff in the future back in the day. This is what it's meant. This is streamlining.
Sorry, we're just chattering. It sounds really good.
So at this point in time up in my settings, if I had internet turned on, which I currently do, because you're obviously looking at my screen, and I've got this automatically upload race when saving, if there's a matching age gender event and I press save, it's going to try and upload whatever it can based on the age gender event dates that are available. And because I've got quite a spread, it's going to just think for a little bit. But once it's done this once, it'll be much quicker next time. So now, if there are any matching age gender events, if we come up to my demo center, I'll just log out of yours and go into my demo area.
Yep.
Here's my home screen here. And the 14th. No, there wasn't any matching age gender events by the looks of that. Nothing's uploaded. So with results, I didn't have any 800s. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this over to 100s. I'm going to go to my saved events. Here's all my saved events. I've only had one race. Coming in here, I'm going to change this to 100s. I'm going to re-upload. So then when we come back here, so it's telling me who has been able to upload out of all the ones that I had on my screen. So there's a few of them.
Okay.
Because they had a matching age gender event. So if I now do a refresh, and against this date, here's our hundreds that have gone up. And there's their times. So these kids, in theory, if they were on their phone or tablet or whatever, they'd be able to see their ticket and a dot on their graph, and that's their results recorded right there. Just from running a race. Now we're on to the next one. The control. Shift them home. When I'm ready, key some more numbers. Key in a name. And one more will be, who's a William? There we go. Haven't selected an event yet. I'll do that now. I'll select another one. If I have the option turned on down here for records, it will flag if I've got any records happening.
Of course they're all records.
And I'll also do that little flashing arrow just to draw your eyes to it. And if you want to know what those records are, you can click up here. It's saying there aren't any known records for this event. If I change this to hundreds, there's all the records for the different age genders that I've got on my screen. So if I want to know what they are, even before the races ran, I can see that information there.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
We'll go and save again. So that's the timing software. So that, as mentioned, that's all a part of the package. There's no extra costs or strings. You just got to decide if you want to use it and start playing around with it. Any questions or concerns or thoughts about that one?
Oh, you got me?
That's good.
Yeah.
The recording's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll shut that down.
Yeah, no, well,
Oh, and use it easy for recording.
Good one.
Yeah.
Well, at least
And everyone's so much.
even if you run it in parallel for 1 week, just use your multi and then use this and just get comfortable and then transition across a week or two later if you like.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no reason just to jump in 2 feet if you're a bit more cautious, then yeah, just merge across slowly, migrate over.
Yep.
So
Okay.
now CompetitionHQ. This one will let you key in times, but it won't record times as such, like a stopwatch, like the RaceHQ does. So this is more of an offline little brother of ResultsHQ.
Offline little brother what?
Of ResultsHQ. So it's
Right. Okay.
this is where you do all your data entry if you want. RaceHQ only lets you time things, but CompetitionHQ lets you do all your data entry but it doesn't need internet. And it's also a bit more flexible than its big brother up in the cloud. So some clubs, even though they've got good internet, prefer to do all their data entry into here and then just upload to here.
Yeah,
So
I'm thinking that's probably the way we'll try it first.
yeah, cool. So especially for smaller clubs, the reason why it's really handy is because you can just mash together age and genders. So I'm going to do 6 and 7 males.
Yep, that's what we'll do. And males and females all together.
For discus. So there we go. So we've got males and females as well. So male, female, 6 and 7s. So if I want to sort these, I can click here and I've got them all by 6 to 7, or all the females to males, or ID numbers, or first names, however I want to look at it, I can use it. That's the first part.
Yep.
This is built to be in the field as far as I can put in 3 attempts. So I'm going to put in 10,
Okay, yep.
12, and 13:45. And every time I do, it's updating the best and giving me a place. Also tells me if there's a PB and if I've uploaded this or not yet. So cloud with a line through it means I haven't uploaded. So that's if it's in the field. You may want to key in all 3. But if we're just keying in from paper, because we're printing off recording sheets and I've got the final best result already worked out by the person in the field, then I can just cruise down the column. So 12:3, and then I'm just doing 11:2, 4, pressing enter, and I go down, tab across, enter down, that sort of scenario.
Right, yeah, got you.
If there's no one there, just tab enter past them, go to the next athlete.
Yep.
Another way to do this, instead of using my age gender selectors up the top here, and if I want to, so I'm bouncing around a little bit, I can resort this so I can see first to fourth on the screen here, just by clicking on that. Another way of doing it, instead of having to hunt through the list, is if I just turn these off, and I'm just saying discus, I can just go and put in athlete 23, tab. It finds that athlete for me, and I put in result of 13:45, enter.
Okay. Yep.
Sorry, I need to press tab is the better one. Tab. I'll click down here, that's right. Then I'm going to key in 34, tab, and a result of 14:23. So this just lets me key it as it's happening, as in whoever it is, instead of looking through a list, or I can dial up the full list and work through a list. It's up to you how you want to approach it.
Okay.
You may notice there's no save button anywhere on the screen. The moment we move from one cell to the next, we're saving.
Okay.
So this is just always saving. So if the thing crashes or your battery dies or something like that, you go, oh my God, I haven't saved. It's like, it's fine. That last one that you were keying, maybe not fine, but everything else up to that point is fine. So just fire it up, get back in, and off you go again. So that's how you can do your discus. If you wanted to key in your hundreds or other events because you, for whatever reason, didn't want to use the timing software, then again, you can just only need to put in the one value. And if you want, you can just key in a number, then their time, a number, then their time, and work through it that way. So it gives you the flexibility. High jump, it does let you do count back for high jump. So I'm just going to turn on high jump. So I'm coming up here to settings and going to event list, going to jumps, just going to scroll down. And high jump is here. Now that I've got high jump enabled, it lets me do the fancy pants high jump if I want, meaning I can do count back. So this is built to be in the field. So this athlete clears the bar. Give them one click, sorry, and they get a circle. This athlete does not. But then the next time they do. So we've got same height, different places. Both got a PB and not uploaded yet. This athlete takes a couple goes and finally gets there. First, second, third, and so on. I can't go and progress someone unless they've had a positive outcome, or even if they were a hot shot and they were sitting out, we give them a pass. then I can start to key in results for them at the next height.
Yep, cool.
So that's count back if you wanted to use that. Some people do use it even though they're bringing paper in, just to make sure that the paper was finalized correctly.
Yep.
Otherwise, if you wanted to, you could do it without using this, and we go up to settings and we'll turn off. So we'll turn on simple high jump. I'm going to go to 11 male high jump, and I just put in a height, so 1 meter, 1 1, 1 1, 1 2. But anyone that I need to override, I just make this one a third due to my own count back. Highlights it as blue, that it's a manually changed place. And then when you're ready, just go and upload. And if there was a matching age gender event, I'll let you know.
Yep.
Sound good?
So if we can, you know, like get our hands on that many devices, portable devices that have windows, and we can use them all at different events through the night.
Yep.
They pretty much all log on to our Camden Haven one, do they? And then
that's it.
No, do they all have it on their? They've all got it downloaded on their devices, and they can all be using it at the same time.
That's it.
And then it just all
upload
when they upload it.
Yep.
ResultsHQ.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So. Do you need to talk to us any more about?
Your questions are good.
I just, so our point score system through the year is pretty much, we do that, we update that weekly, and all athletes get 1 point for participating or starting and participating in an event, and an extra point for doing a PB in that event. So they can get up to 2 points per event.
Okay.
Each week.
One,
you know,
0 for turning up and 1 per event. Is that what it was?
No, so basically we give them 1 point for participating, like going in an event, and an extra point if they get a PB in that event.
Yeah,
so they can get a maximum of 2 points per event.
Okay, so now in PB setting, we're just going to turn on, if they better their PB, they get 1. Now, do you include the first event for the season as a PB, or is that a benchmark to better to then get a PB?
Usually a benchmark, don't we?
Well, just
because they wouldn't have actually done it. Doesn't matter if everyone's getting 1 point. It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
Well, let's make a decision then. Yes, they get 1.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Let's give them a gimme.
Yep.
So first event, everyone will get a PB, and everyone will get that extra point.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So just submit that. So that's, if we need to change that, we can even during the season change it and then recalculate all the PBs. Do you want it to flag if they get an equal PB?
You've got it. Sorry?
Do you want it to flag if they get an equal PB?
No.
No,
it's got to be the
No, they've got to beat their PB.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we've just set up attendance and PB points. What other points do you run with?
That's it.
That's it? Oh, wow. That's nice and simple. Good work.
Yeah.
So have you got active and financial members in IMG right now?
Yes.
Should we go bring them across?
It's not many, but yes.
So we come up here to members.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. So we
Tell us how to do that.
Yeah.
So we go to members, IMG import.
Okay.
Here's the default table setting, so that's all good. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to put my email. Basically, this means it's going to send me an email when it's finished doing all the importing. That's all that email is for. It's just a little alert. Yeah, your first athletes come in. Going to do a refresh. We've now got 10 athletes. Refresh. So we're sitting on 10 by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Cool. So we can see here, under 6s, there's 1 boy and 1 girl. Under 8s, there's a boy and a girl. Under 10s, there's 1 girl. And we can go see who they are. So let's see who the under 8 boy is. That's Isaac Luke.
That's Katie's boy.
Yeah, cool.
I click on his surname,
So that's got all.
and that's all the information
Gotcha.
that's just come across. And he's also got a sister, Ruby.
He does have a sister, Ruby.
Oh my
Awesome.
God.
That's so cool.
So that's just gone and brought across your 10 athletes. So the moment you make them active and financial in IMG,
Sorry to interrupt. Is it only the committee members, or is it anybody who has access to ResultsHQ? Can they tap into any of that information?
good question. Up here in setup and users, obviously I'm a super user, so I've got access, but then we'll create a profile for whoever's, and only those people that you want access to here will have access.
Yeah,
And let
just that we were looking at devices out on the field and recording things and uploading straight from the field. We don't want people to be sitting there playing on things in between or anything.
So that data entry, competition HQ and RaceHQ, that won't let them see any personal information. It's purely the athletes and their time or place or result. It's only if they have access to this main results area that they'll potentially, depending on the user level as well. So when you set up a user, you can give them access levels. So super user is everything like what we have right now. We can just make someone a results entry person so they can only see results and recording sheets and that sort of thing. So there's a variety of different layers and levels you can give people there.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So that's now brought your members in.
Yeah, access to the users. How do we?
So
Someone's obviously logged in for us.
if you guys want to email me your emails and your positions, then I'll get you set up, and then you'll get an invite, and then you'll be able to set yourself up. And if you're a super user, you'll be able to set up other users, and then you can self-manage from there. So next year, committees change, maybe someone's not coming back for whatever reason, you can disable their profile so they can't get back in again, and vice versa.
Yep, cool.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
So do we have an invite login ready to go into this?
This is your profile right now, yeah.
Do we have a password already?
I'll need to set you up. So I've got my super user secret squirrel one, but you'll need your own personal one to be able to jump in and do that.
Awesome.
So members, where do we go to bring in your members?
Members.
Yeah.
Members. Import. IMG import.
And then what do I do?
Refresh.
Put in your email address to let you know that it's
Punching that.
when it's done. Do you have to do that each time, or is that just an option?
You don't have to put it in, but if it's taking a while because there's a backlog of things, it's handy to put it in. So you go, all right, it's definitely finished now. I'm going to go print my recording sheets. It's kind of like your trigger to go and get on with the next of it. It means you can still go and do stuff. And then the normal one is you want to do that just before you print your recording sheet. So you know you've got all your kids that are current at that point in time before you go and print off some paper.
Cool.
So step one, members in. Step two, you want to go and create a date in your calendar to be able to set up your first rotation or your first program.
Yeah.
So I can click on season calendar, or I can click on event calendar. Either way, I get to both. And there's a little video that takes you through this anyways. So now I come to my meet calendar. There's nothing here because we haven't obviously set anything up as yet. So we're just going to hit the plus button. And then in here, well, there's a whole heap of events. Let's go and clean that up. There shouldn't be that many. I'll get that sorted out. Yeah, I thought we'd see that. I'll get Ryan to fix that up for us, okay? Because there shouldn't be that many. So it's been quite a while. So don't worry about that screen, but we will talk through that screen. We'll pretend there's only 15 buttons there instead of 150. So we give it a name. So let's call it, say, week 1. We'll delete this after. So, and program name, we'll call it program 1. And the date will be tonight. And we're going to, because we don't have any historical results, I can't copy from an existing meet as yet. because there's nothing
Right.
to copy from.
Okay.
So we got to do a newbie. So I'm going to do male, female, 6, 7, 9s. They're going to do. Ooh, that's a mad screen. We're going to do. It's got way too many events. So they're going to do these events here. And then we'd scroll down past all of that. Sorry about that. That's really messy, that screen. And down here, it's showing that we've started building out our program. We've got these.
Okay.
These guys are doing these events. So 6, 7, and 9 male and females are doing 1,500 hurdles and 60. Then I'd come back up and layer in my next one. So I'm going to do females, 8 and 12s, and then going to do decathlon. How's that? That's a tough day out.
Okay.
That's now in there. So again, so this is all we do to build up a program.
Okay.
And once we've built this up, that then allows us to print off recording sheets and also allows us to use the timing software. So if I wanted to, and I fired up your timing software right now, so I'm just going to go to my desktop and go to RaceHQ. And we're actually going to just upload some results to your profile. So back here in your home page, we've got athletes and we've got a date now. 0 out of 10 have attended. Come into the date. Here's the age, gender events that are in there. Down here in the timing land, I'm going to go up to my settings, web. Instead of demo, I'm going to change that to Camden Haven. Put your password in. So 10 members, no PB or records yet, but 20 events. If I go to your member list, there's your 10 kids there.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So we're going to come in here, we're going to start a race. So it's only allowed us to do the events that we've told it to do.
Yep.
Going to go start. No, I don't want to stop the race. And start keying in some names. What was the first name, some of the kids there?
Isaac.
Isaac, that's what it was. Isaac Luke, I thought it was Luke. And then there was another Luke there.
Ruby.
Ricky?
Ruby.
Any other names?
Oh.
Ruby Stewart, Ruby Luke.
Okay, there's another
Sophie.
Ruby.
Yep.
Luke. There we go. Sophie. We'll just leave. Harry was there? Henry?
Harry.
Harry.
Oh, Henry, yep. Nicholas.
There we go. So everyone's just got a record. Bang, bang, bang. And look at that. Or a potential record is what that's telling me. We're then going to go stop.
Yep.
And then, because we've got the upload when saving turned on, we're going to press save. Let's see if we can beat the data up there. Go and press refresh. Go to with results. Do another refresh. Some more data must be coming up. There we go. So there's a few of these coming in. So if I go have a look in here, Ruby's got a 531. If I come up here to saved events, we can see here we've got a 531 for Ruby. Sophie did a 553. Come back in. So you can see we've just been pushing all this data up here. So that's already done for us.
Okay.
And Henry was the other one, sorry, that had a matching age gender event. So done. That race is up. And all we did was do a member import. Go to event calendar plus, add in the age gender events. Come down to the timing software, hit refresh, and go run some races and press save. And all that data has just been done for us.
Okay.
So now if we wanted to, we may want to go and print some recording sheets. So I could come to recording forms here on the home page now, we'll see we've got 2 of 10 have attended. We've got 2 new PBs, but no records. We've got some potential records. If I come in here and click on the blue potential records button, we've got 2 new potential records. I could make them a record by clicking on the buttons if I wanted to. But we won't do that. So I'm just going to go to recording forms, either from this button or up here at events, recording forms. I generally use the top ones because they're always available on every page that I'm on, instead of having to come back to the home page. So in here.
So the recording form
Yep.
sheets that we do on the day.
That's it.
Sort of thing.
Now you probably want to combine your age and genders together on your recording forms too, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So if we come to more,
Yep.
and go to age grouping, this will let us, what age groups do you normally mash together on your recording forms?
Yeah, 4, 5, 6s.
Yeah, 4,
7,
5,
8.
6 usually go together.
And what would you call them?
And 7 and 8
Tiny tots or something?
tops. Oh,
Tots?
tops
Yeah.
and 6s usually called.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Tots and 6s.
Tots
We
and
just kind
sixes,
of, we
yeah.
don't really have.
Oh, I'll leave them as tots.
Any.
How's that? So now we've got a tots group we've just set up, and then you do a 7, 8, 9 or something. Is that what you said?
7s and 8s usually.
Yeah.
7s and 8s.
Yeah, they'll do.
Yep.
There's no usual. We just have to wait and see who shows up
Yeah.
each season.
So now I've created 2 of our groupings. Next time I come into event recording forms, over here, if I want to use any of those groupings, they're available in my little grouping list.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Yep.
What age groups do we actually have in your profile right now? We've got 6 and 8, so it probably won't make much sense at the moment because
Yeah. We group 12s to 17s.
12 to 7, 8 go together, yeah.
I'm
13s.
going to do this for you. We're just going to make up a big one for tonight's purposes. I'm just going to do all. So recording forms. So if I come back in here, if I wanted to, I could use the all group.
Yep.
If I wanted to separate out just particular event types, I can. We'll just leave them all on. Choose my grouping because I am using grouping. If I wanted to add in blank lines because it's the start of the season, we're going to have newbies turning up. So I'm going to put on 10 blank rows.
Yes.
I can sort by age or event ID. And if I want them in PB order, ID, first name, last name, but I'll just leave them all as that. I'm just going to preview now.
Yep.
So that's, because we only had not all the age genders set up for age gender events, it's only let us do the 6s because we didn't have some matching.
Sorry, Nick, can you just repeat that last sentence?
No worries. Because we didn't have all the age genders set up for events, we don't see all 10 of your athletes.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
If we wanted to, instead of having if I go print now, instead of having 1A4 per event, it's going to print off for us, which can be painful if you're at a smaller club. You may want to do a condensed version,
Yeah.
which then has all the events across the top and all the kids down the
That's
left.
what we would do for our track. Yep, that would be perfect for track. Yeah.
Cool. So when you go to print that one, if you were just doing track, then you could just do hurdles and sprints. If you use your control key, you can select multiples as well. Or just select them out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you do your recording sheets. So once they're printed off,
Wow.
we've already had a look at CompetitionHQ and how we'd go about keying data into that, which sounds like maybe the preference compared to keying data into here from the sounds of things earlier.
Yeah.
If we did want to key it in here, just to show you what it's about, you click on the date. Any events that have results disappear off this default screen. But they are there. They're just in the with results tab. We can see participate.
You don't need to.
Yeah. So by the end of the meet, if I just refresh this screen again, by the end of the meet, this screen in theory will be empty because every event has something recorded against it.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a rookie panic email or call we'll get after their first day of entering a result. Say, oh my God, all my data's gone. I can't see it. It kept kind of disappearing throughout the day. It's like, that's cool. It's not disappeared. Just click on that with results tab. Oh, there it is. Thank you. So cool. No worries. Sorry to give you a heart attack. So that's what that's about. And you'll be able to see if it's got 1 of 20. You go, hang on, we're sure we had more than 1 athlete in the 6 male out of the 20. Maybe we haven't finished keying that in, or that sort of information. But to go and key in something, just click on the blue number. You can use your control key on your keyboard, and you'll notice up the top of my screen it's going to open another tab, and then another one, and another one, another one, and another one. So now I've got these individual screens to work with. Hit enter, edit results, key in some results, press save. It will tell me if it's a potential record or not, because we don't have any of your records in here. Everyone will be a potential record. That's now saved. We can see here there's no record set up for you guys for this age gender event, and so on. And you just go through, so kill that tab, go to the next one, key in results, save it, kill the tab, and so on, and work through those until you're back until you're back to your start tab, and you just do a refresh and boop, that will disappear, and then you're finished. That sort of thing. Pretty straightforward.
We have to play with it to get used to it.
So we can see here we've had 3 athletes and 3 PBs. If I want to see who got PBs, I can click on this, and there they are. If I want to see what they are, I click on their name, and that's the events that they've been in.
Okay. Very good.
Now points. So come up to events, calculate. On any given week, we could have 1, all, or none of these points turned on. So we've already decided we're going to do PB, and we're going to do attendance points. It will automatically do PBs as a PB.
Oh, the other thing, what do other clubs give points for?
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to give you ideas.
No, it's okay. Happy with that little.
Keep it simple.
Enough ideas.
Yeah. So just because it's automatically calculating if a result is a PB, it doesn't mean we're giving them points until we come in here. We make sure.
Sorry, we did have a question. Casey just said, what's the difference between attendance and event? Because every event they go in, they get a point.
Yep.
Well, they should just point for attendance for showing up.
That's it. So event points is a whole other category, just like PB and attendance and place. Event points is another type of category that they use in other states.
Okay, so the attendance one there means for every event they attend. Every event they attend, not actually just attending on the night.
Yeah, it covers off everything within this button. And so it would cover off these 2.
Got you. Okay.
That one button
Excellent.
means that, basically.
Yep.
Versus
Thanks.
the event one here. This here is a bigger beast. So you just ignore that one unless you really want it.
Okay.
So now that we've got these on, we still haven't actually calculated any points. If I go back to the home screen, we'll see there's no points here.
Yep.
At the moment we come in here and we go calculate all, the little wheel's going to spin around and it's finished. Come in here, do a refresh. We've now got some points.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So then if you click on the points, it'll tell, when you click on that 6, will that tell you who's got what points?
Of course.
Cool. All right. So where do we get is that, so, yeah, okay.
If you want to tally all that up now to know who your champion is,
yeah.
you go to leaderboard.
Right.
And in leaderboard, it's got a whole bunch of options because there's over 200 centres with all their different ways that they want to do points. But we're just going to scoot past that.
Oh, really?
And we're going to come down here and we're just going to hit view. And that's told us there's a total of 6 and only 3 athletes so far. All have 2 points, all have attendance of 100%.
It shows the attendance. It shows the attendance. Yay.
So is there a page that we can view all of our members and their points?
So this is this page here. So at the end of the season, you'd possibly want to do it by age, gender. So it would break out who's my best 6 male, my best 6 female, blah, blah, blah. And it'd have all the 6 females and all the 6 males. And if I wanted to just look at the top 3 per 6 male and 6 female and so on, then I could choose top 3. And it would only show the top 3 of each of those categories. I can then export that if I want to do things. But then you can also come up here, reports, and do a season certificate. So I'm just going to do all members. And don't worry about any of this. I'm just going to go view. It's going to let us print out some certificates for these athletes.
Wow, that is cool. That is so cool. You guys are very clever.
Oh, that's going to mean so much for the kids.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
So you will have the number of times they've done decathlon, their best, the number of PBs, their average for the decathlon, how many PBs they got, their attendance for the year, number of records for the year, and their points by track, field, and total. So normally there would be maybe 10 events listed here, and it would have all their relevant data underneath it. That image is broken because we haven't got an image up there for you guys yet. Otherwise, it would normally have your logo sitting front and center.
Okay.
And you can also write in some messages, and center, and title, location, and go view, and then that'll come through on your certificate, that sort of thing. And if you want, you can also publish this to their family area. So instead of printing off paper to hand over, which is always a good experience if it's like a presentation night, but if it was, say, a multi-day or a PVE day or something special, then you could choose a particular date and go and publish it through to their actual family profile. And then they'll get a soft copy in their profile when they log in there.
Okay, so if it's that date, like if we were giving all the kids a little certificate, like one of those on a certain day, like the previous week, because all the ones that got PBs we wanted to give a little certificate to, could you do it that way, or do you have to, this is only at the end of the season thing?
So that's the season certificates. There are other certificates that you can do. So if you come down here to reports, I'm going to go to the Centre PB report.
Okay, cool.
Then in here, choose the athletes.
Yep.
And then there's their PB report.
Okay. So, just forgive my bad memory, but earlier on, was there an option to notify us of a PB at some point in all of that? Like, because that might be actually handy to set up. So we know who to give those little certificates to.
So you could come into Report Builder and you could choose a particular date. And instead of looking at results, you could do PB list or PB count.
Right,
and then it will tell you who out of your athletes and how many PBs they've got.
PBs that day.
Or even
similar to that.
So you could do for the whole season.
Day that
so there's different ways of doing it. But the whole idea is that kids will be able to see this in their own profile and you won't have to be printing stuff out for them.
Yeah, I know. We did, a few seasons ago, we did, make up all these little PB certificates most weeks, really, for anyone got PBs, and they did really like it.
Yep.
So I don't know whether it's something, we probably, if it's an option, we'll consider it.
Okay.
It's cool. Thanks.
So now we're just going to jump into the family area so you can see what that's about, if you like, what they'll actually see. So we're just going to jump into the demo family that we've set up. Once we're in here, it's got the kids, so they can go and put their own profile picture in if they want.
So each family only has access to their own,
That's it. So up here in profile, it's just got the same information that we saw before that IMG had brought across. And then it's got each child. Then in each child, we can go and change their portrait and any of the other information that we need to update, medical conditions and so on, which will then flow through back to the centre admin area where you are. But let's see, we can see these kids have lots of PB stars. There's lots of PBs happening. If I just click on the 800 for Robert, it brings me into his main screen. So here's all the dates that Robert's done in 800. Here are all his results and the places, how many PBs, and where he got that record, that result from. And as I mouse over this graph, it's showing me when and what happened.
Cool.
So if he was at an inter-centre competition or a zone or a region or a state where they were using ResultsHQ, then it'd also have in here that particular location and be another dot on his graph and so on.
Okay, cool.
Then
so all our zone and regional ones will be entered in basically.
Yeah, in theory, that's where we'll be heading to. So depending, some regional zones won't be the first ones to jump on and do that, but that's the end goal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm sure ours will be foremost, right?
So you can see here, here's all the events and the number of PBs per event type.
Yep.
So I can click on Turbo Jav, and that's the Javs there. Here's the 400s. If I wanted to have a look at the tickets, then I can click on this little trophy, and there's all these tickets that he can print off if he wants to.
Cool. Yeah.
If they want to just print off a little report, then that's how you can print that off. Otherwise, they could just print the screen, like what I'm doing now, and then send that on to grandma or whoever.
Cool.
Then as far as in the calendar goes, once it loads up, here's all the dates and all the events that Robert had potentially had access to. And so in February, he did these combinations. In December, he did these and so on. Then his sibling, Owen, and so on.
Cool.
And what it was actually called. So if that was your week 1 or your decathlon day or your multi-day or whatever, it's listed in there. If I want to look at all the tickets for Robert, I'll click on the trophy here, and I'll have all these tickets.
Awesome.
If I wanted to look at results, this is optional for you guys to turn on or off in your profile to allow families to go and view other kids' results. Nothing personal, but just their results. So some centres don't do that because there's a lot of politics within their centre. Other centres...
Yes, I think I'll be able to see it. We sort of, we're big on pushing the point that you're not there competing against the other children.
Yep.
It's
so then,
bettering yourself.
That's it.
Against just...
So we'd go to more in your profile, family area setup, and we'd turn off the show all results. So untick this and done. So no one in your profile will see that now. You can even hide the places if you want. If it's not about places, then you can hide that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's... Sorry, what's that?
What do you mean you can hide the places? Do you mean positions on that screen?
So none of those places and so on positions will be there.
Gotcha.
Records will come through automatically as well. If they want to go and have a look at the records, then they can come down here and they'll see who's done what and when if they're chasing a record for whatever reason. So that's what the families have access to. So the moment you press upload from from RaceHQ or CompetitionHQ, it uploads to here. And there'll be another little brick with another star if they got a PB. They could click on it and see the result and so on.
Awesome.
Cool.
So that's it in a nutshell, basically, what we've got to offer and how you get about it.
Oh, you made it sound so easy. No, you broke it down very simple. We really, really appreciate your time taken explaining it to us because we aren't the biggest tech heads. So you've done very well in layman's terms. Well, I feel like the majority of it that I would be confident in tapping back in and having a go, looking at things and playing with things. And I think this lady's much the same. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. That's what we're here for. So just if you do need support or help, you've got this button here.
Yeah,
And
nice.
you can search for something. So maybe you're chasing something about PBs. It'll bring up the top 5 PB topics and also tell you there's a total of 39 of those. So I may just want to have a look at this. And then that opens up the help topic specific to whatever it was that I've clicked on. So here's some information about recalculating personal bests.
Yep.
Otherwise, if it wasn't good, you're like, bugger this, I can't be arsed searching. I just want to talk to someone or email someone. I could click on this, change my question around if I like to, put a more detail in there. Don't just say, I'm looking for PBs. And say, then we'll have to start an email conversation. What exactly about PBs are you looking for? Please tell us a bit more. So that's how you kick it off. Otherwise, any given page that you're on, let's say we're in here, and I click on the green question mark, it opens up the help page specific to the area that we're in. So this is your result. So if you're not sure what the page is and you see a green question mark, click on it. If that doesn't answer your question, try the support. If that doesn't answer us, shoot us an email or give us a call.
Yep.
Nice.
So to start setting ours up, like will that stuff remain in there now that you've imported?
Yeah, totally.
Our members.
I'll delete this so that we don't have a legacy of bad data.
Sure.
I'm just going to go in here and going to go delete. Yes, that's gone. I'm now going to reset your season bests so that we don't upset their PB status and so on.
Cool.
Recalculate season best. Boop. Now everything's clean back to before we started putting junk data in there.
Okay.
So just email us now with your emails and your names and your kind of profile status, as in secretary, president, and so on.
Yeah.
And I'll set you up, and you'll get an invite to jump in here and start your journey.
All right. And do you set a password for us, or do we set that?
We'll set that as a part of that invite process. So I'll say, click here to create your password. We won't ever know what that is unless you tell us. And then that's your profile. There'll be a little video as a part of that to say, here's the steps from here. There's also a little wizard when you jump in that will walk you through the initial setups, which will look like this.
Yep. Right. So we start through ResultsHQ, yeah?
Yeah. Get all this set up.
Not downloading. Yeah.
You can jump into the timing software and CompetitionHQ, but you won't be able to push anything around until you've got a program set up in here. You can still play with it and do stuff, you just won't be able to upload. That's the only thing that you won't be able to do.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Groovy?
Cool. Everyone else
That's cool. All right, we might even
call it a night then.
we've got time to
Oh, yeah.
now and set it up.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for an email then.
Awesome.
I could start doing it now if you want. Who's first?
Oh, if you want.
Yeah. We may as well, while we're here, while we've got a few minutes, we'll get us through.
President Donna.
So this is going to be...
Decided who. Do you guys happy for everybody to use it or just recorders?
Yep, that looks good.
And so Donna, was it?
Yes.
Just one N.
One N.
And last name?
See, I don't. D-A-V-Y, no E.
Like that?
Yeah.
Contact?
Yep. 0432.
Yep.
614. 146.
Email?
Email, it's just donnadavy@bigpond.com, all lowercase.
And you'll get super user?
Yeah.
So you should get an email pretty soon. So you're the first one in. Who's next?
No, we'll keep going. Vice President, we'll go in order of...
Oh, you can go in order then. Yeah, that's right. Vice President.
Lorna?
What would that be?
Oh, no, it'll be under Vice. Yeah, just do Vice President.
Lorna, was it?
Yep.
Lorna, Lorna.
Yep.
Mawson, Morson.
No P. Yep.
0425 330 382. Sorry, M Mawson, all lowercase, double M-O-R.
Or double M?
No, double M-O-R.
at the start, yeah.
Yep, at bigpond.net.au.
Beautiful.
Anyone else?
Yep. We'll put
Yeah.
it in. Casey, are you going to go in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're going in it, aren't you?
Yeah,
Would you
I'll
want
have
to
to
do
do it,
time
yeah,
resolution
yeah.
stuff now?
Yep, secretary.
Yep.
We're going to put all of us in because we might share the role of
Yeah.
some of it.
Yeah, no worries. So sorry,
Okay.
your name?
S-E-C-A-S-E-Y. Luke.
Ah, you're the Luke. That's why I was all familiar to you.
No, it's like Ruby's mum.
0402 09 07 84. Yes, I'll spell it. It's CHRISTALENA 13 at hotmail.com.
I've been meaning to.
All right. Done. Okay, so that's all three of you. If you need to add anyone else, you can. Just come to setup users.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. All right. If you want to know what the different user levels are, come in here, click on that, and it'll have some descriptions about what the different levels let you do. But otherwise, if you guys go check your emails soon, you should get your invite. So it does time out, so jump on it soon if you can, just to get that ticked off, and then you'll be able to jump in and get started.
Okay, cool.
What I would normally do...
So the invite would have a password in it.
Yep.
It has our option.
Yeah,
Create
cool.
one.
All right. No worries.
So I'm
Awesome.
going to jump in here. I'm just going to send you guys
Have their individual passwords as each user to get in.
an email. New ticket. This is the support screen that we spend a lot of time in. I'm just going to get the new center set up.
Okay.
And this is going to be to yourself. And then we're going to CC in and then you'll all get the same welcome email.
Okay.
Why isn't that saving? Come on. Bloody computers. Who invented them? So I'll get this off to you soon.
Yep,
And
no
then
worries.
you'll be able to kick on and get yourself set up and have some fun and give us an email. So just reply back to this one that I'm sending you now with any questions that you've got. And then we'll be able to look after you from there, ladies.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nick.
No worries.
Thank you so much for your help.
Have a good
Well,
evening.
you're
ladies.
extra help there at the end
Yeah, no worries.
with our arms folded. Can't our work, so thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure, guys.
That's awesome.
Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thanks. You
Have a
too.
lovely evening, Nick. See
Bye.
you later.